What's good with y'all, bro? We back in the classic Snowcation, and we back with an already classic episode of Snow Blunt Talk. Today's episode is about why men and women aren't getting along. You know what I'm saying? So let's just jump straight into it. First of all, the battle of the sexes is like always gonna be a thing. People are just exploiting it now. You know what I'm saying? You have all these people saying, hey, men need to be like this, and then people say women need to be like this. So they're just like radicalizing each and milking money from you and milking attention from you, and it's just causing more discord in your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, in turn, it just makes you more insecure and more reliant on their content. See, motherfuckers be like shitting on other people's content, like, oh, don't watch this will make you soft. Nah, nigga, just watching the niggas content all day will make you soft, bro. The people who are telling you other types of content are worse to watch than theirs. They're giving you only the half truth. You know what I'm saying? Here on Snow Blunt Talk, I try to keep things concise because I want to give things to the whole truth. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to watch my content. I just want you to come here, take what you can, take what resonates, and go without your life with better knowledge and better enlightenment. But back to the point. The battle of the sexes has it so men and women are starting to think of each other as like monolithic. You know what I'm saying? Men and women are starting to be like, oh, all men do this, all women do this. And it allows for no nuance, because that's what the whole human experience is nuance. When you get to know people, you get to know nuances about them. They have things where they might not all the way be like the typical man. They might not all the way be like the typical woman in that way. Either way you slice it, you have to allow for nuance to create great personal relationships. You can't just have a monolithic view of all men or all women and then go into the dating pool like, yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, I just want somebody who doesn't do this, doesn't do that, cooks, cleans. Like, that's not how you build healthy relationships. Like, stop letting internet trends take you away from your soul knowledge, bro. Like, how the fuck is it that you're supposed to just view life as this big ass GTA stats game and then conquer here and conquer there? Like, people who sell you that, there's a reason why they can sell you that so well, because that'll never fulfill you, bro. The illustrious pursuit of dominance in the material world, that won't fulfill you. That's why it's like a vicious cycle. People keep feeding their money into all these self-improvement course, or whatever the like niggas who want to be like rich and like buff as fuck do and watch. They just keep watching that, because the more rich you get and the more buff, like the more you pursue these material gains, they're not gonna do anything for you. That's why you keep getting sucked into that hole. You know what I'm saying? We starting to get convinced to view each other in more like radicalized yet generalized ways, and it allows for no nuance. People don't leave the space for nuance and the empathy and all that stuff. And you need empathy for good relationships. Let's jump into point number 2, which is men and women don't want to get along. Now, let me explain. 2 of these points I'm gonna have to make here, because there's 3 in this video. 2 of these points I'm gonna have to make here, they're gonna sound kind of like reflective, redundant. Just bear with me, okay? They don't want to get along because the goal when people get in relationships is not to get along, to get to know them, to find love, to hear a big ass truck drop something off in the distance. But the point of the relationship, they do it for ego gains. They do it to be claimed. They do it to feel like they're worth something or someone now. They do it to feel like they have a certain status now being with someone. People are using each other for mutual benefits, you know what I'm saying? And like I said in the first point, doing shit for that, like when it comes to love and shit, because that's the crazy thing about love. The fucking material world in its nature is like, in our animal form, it's a reason why we divide it into masculine and feminine, because like, higher forms of beings and shit, they like, they're genderless basically, but it's a reason why we're separated and shit, or sexless rather. It's a reason why we're separated. It's so we could not use each other for material gains and use each other to like look good, but it's so we could reconcile that divide. You know what I'm saying? The masculine and the feminine, it's not about one dominating the other. It's not like one can't dominate the other, bro. It's the yin and the yang once again. Like, y'all Western motherfuckers be thinking that the masculine has to dominate shit, and like, y'all getting that from the fucking fake ass Bible they sold y'all asses to get y'all, like, motherfuckers getting their values from things that were used to keep people in line and saying that this will free you. Nah, bro, that true spirituality gonna free you. And true spirituality gonna tell you, bro, the masculine needs the feminine just as much as the feminine needs the masculine. It is a balance. So the goal should not be to, oh, I want a woman to dominate and have my kids. Oh, I want a man to do this for me and then have my life. No. The goal is to, as souls, reconnect that divide, because we all have a piece of, like the higher divine intelligence inside us and shit. And that is sexless. That intelligence, that frequency is sexless, but we operating on a frequency that has sexless. So in order to unite and ascend, we have to reconcile that divide. And this ain't no math class, but I passed. But I don't think about the past, I think about the present. And the present moment is telling me that leads me into my 2.5/3 point, which is that because of the nature of this world and how we, we're incarnated as humans, Adam and Eve type shit, maybe at first, men and women aren't meant to get along. Like instinctually, we meant to just be at odds. And I'm pretty sure everybody could attest to this. The number one thing these pink pill or women podcasts will talk about is men. The number one thing that the men want to talk about is women, because the divide is so, it's even deeper rooted than a drug addiction. That divide is one of the biggest insecurities that defines this plane of existence. Having the masculine and the feminine divided is what defines here. It defines us as much as having bodies and having egos and identities. It's one of those things that you can't get rid of, and it is kind of an L thing to have, but you just gotta live with it. And it's so deep, and you'll never, as mere human beings, unless we get conscious, we'll never quite reach that sexless frequency. So it's it's always going to be an L. That's why we'll always be able to talk about it, because we'll always feel some type of way about that, because we all relate to it. You can't just, I'm pretty sure not even the most spiritually ascended motherfucker could get over the fact that he or she is divided from their masculine or feminine counterpart. You know what I'm saying? It's just something you don't get over. So we all got that insecurity. We could all share about it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that's supposed to reconcile this divide, and the reason why men and women don't get along at first, is because we're supposed to learn to love. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? We getting a little cute on Snow Blunt Talk. My name is Kyle. Nice to meet you. And this is my little video. Okay, I need to stop. And we're not meant to get along at first, because we're meant to learn to love. See, love is that bridge from, I just can't possibly understand this thing because it's literally everything I am not in its essence, to, okay, I'm starting to feel selfless, breaking down the concept of even having a sex or anything, any identity. I'm starting to feel selfless and point that love outward to the point where I can't tell where myself and my feminine counterpart ends and begins. And that's what reconciles you to unite toward the divine. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in a video before, but in the Secret Teachings of All Ages, I remember getting this piece of information. There's 1 or 2 reasons to get married. One of them is to unite and remain in a divine union, and just, be ascended as a unit. But the one more people are starting to agree on is as men and women, we come together so that when we separate, we learn more about how to have that balance within ourselves, which is really the goal. It's really the goal, to have that balance within yourself, to be truly ascended, to be truly, high vibrational, whatever you want to call it. That's the goal, to have your masculine and feminine balanced, and not to be defined by the, imbalance you were born with, or the imbalance that you have to, you're always going to have some of that imbalance, you know what I'm saying? You're always going to be defined by which side of the coin you fell on. But if in your soul and in your mind you can, reconcile that, then it makes for a pretty damn good human being. And that's all we are at the end of the day. Just fucking animals. Men and women. Males and females. Together in material hell. I don't like the smell. It's that gas I smoked from yesterday kicking. Okay, I need to end this video.